Jeremiah 26. In the beginning of the reign of Jehoiakim, the son of Yoshiahu, the king of Judah, this word came from Yahweh, saying, Thus said Yahweh, stand in the courtyard of the house of Yahweh, and speak to all the cities of Judah, which come to bow themselves in the house of Yahweh, all the words that I command you to speak to them. Do not diminish a word. If so, be that they listen and each turn from his evil way, then I shall repent of the evil that I plan to do to them because of the evil of their deeds. If they'll change their ways, I'll change mine. And you shall say to them, Thus said Yahweh, if you do not listen to me, to walk in my Torah, which I set before you, to do the instructions that I told you to do, to listen to the words of my servants, the prophets I am sending you, even rising up early and sending them, though you have not listened, then I shall make this house like Shiloh, and make this city a curse to all the nations of the earth. And the priests and the prophets and all the people heard Jeremiah, Yirmiyahu, speaking these words in the house of Yahweh. And it came to be, when Jeremiah had ended speaking all that Yahweh had commanded him to speak to all the people, that the priests and the prophets and all the people seized him, saying, You shall certainly die. Why have you prophesied in the name of Yahweh, saying, This house shall be like Shiloh, and the city shall be dried up without an inhabitant? And all the people were gathered together against Yirmiyahu in the house of Yahweh. And the heads of Judah heard this, and they came up from the king's house to the house of Yahweh, and sat down in the entrance of the new gate of the house of Yahweh. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, killing the prophets. And the priests and the prophets spoke to the heads of all the people, saying, A death sentence for this man, for he has prophesied against this city, as you have heard with your ears. Kind of sounds reminiscent of Yeshua and his trial. I might be able to get my key to turn in the ignition and roll this window up. There we go. Have a little less ambient noise. And Jeremiah spoke to all the heads and all the people, saying, Yahweh sent me to prophesy against this house and against this city with all the words that you heard. And now make good your ways and your deeds, and obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim. Then Yahweh shall relent concerning the evil he has pronounced against you. And I am in your hand. Do with me as seems good and right to you. But know for certain that if you put me to death, you are bringing innocent blood on yourselves, and on this city, and on its inhabitants. For truly Yahweh has sent me to speak to you all these words in your hearing. We know from Proverbs that the shedding of innocent blood is an abomination. Then the heads and all the people said to the priest and the prophet, No death sentence for this man, for he has spoken to us in the name of Yahweh, our Elohim. So they're acknowledging here the hierarchy, the power structure. And some of the elders of the land rose up and spoke to all the assembly of the people, saying, Micaiah of Moresheth prophesied in the days of Hezekiah, the king of Judah. And he spoke to all the people of Judah, saying, Thus said Yahweh of hosts, Zion shall become a plowed field, and Jerusalem be heaps, and the mountain of the house be like the bare hills of the forest. Did Hezekiah, king of Judah, and all of Judah indeed put him to death? Did he not fear Yahweh and seek the favor of Yahweh? And the master relented concerning the evil which he had pronounced against them, but we are doing great evil against ourselves. There was, however, a man who prophesied in the name of Uriyahu, the son of Yahweh, Uriyahu, the son of Shemayahu of Kiriath Yearim, who prophesied against this city and against this land according to all the words of Jeremiah. And when Jehoiakim the king, with all his mighty men and all the heads, heard his words, the king sought to put him to death. But Uriyahu heard of it and was afraid and fled and went to Mitzrayim. It's a constant recurring theme in the Bible that the prophet is not safe in Jerusalem, is not safe in the promised land, and so they flee to Mitzrayim, to Egypt. You see this with Abraham's family, Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. You see this with the Hebrews who are in Egypt before the Exodus. You see this with Yeshua himself, and when he's born, and Herod's trying to kill all the babies, and Joseph flees to Egypt and does not return until Herod is dead. Then Jehoiakim the king sent men to Mitzrayim, Elnathan the son of Achbor, and some men who went with him to Mitzrayim. And they brought Uriyahu from Mitzrayim, and brought him to Jehoiakim the king, who struck him with the sword and threw his dead body into the burial sites of the common people. However, the hand of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, was with Jeremiah, so as not to give him into the hand of the people to put him to death. We'll read 27 as well. In the beginning of the reign of Jehoiakim, son of Yoshiyahu, the king of Judah, this word came to Jeremiah, saying, This is what Yahweh said to me. Make for yourselves bands and yokes, then you shall put them on your neck, and shall send them to the king of Edom, and the king of Moab, and the king of the Ammonites, and the king of Sor, and the king of Sidon, and by the hand of the messengers who come to Jerusalem, to Sidikyahu, the king of Judah. Yokes upon their neck. It symbolizes like slavery. Who do you belong to? And you shall command them to say to their masters, Thus said Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, Say this to your masters, I have made the earth, the man and the beast that are on the face of the earth, by my great power and by my outstretched arm. Yod, Yeshua. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and not a thing that was made without the Word of God. Yeshua. By my outstretched arm. Yod, Yeshua. And I shall give it to whom it seemed right in my eyes. And now I have given all these lands into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babel, my servant. And the beasts of the field I have also given to him to serve him. And all nations shall serve him and his sons' sons until the time of the land comes. Until the time of his land comes. And then many nations, many great nations, shall make him serve them. And it shall be the nation and the kingdom that do not serve Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babel, and the one that does not put on its neck under the yoke of the king of Babel, that nation I shall punish, declares Yahweh. So, the tool of punishment here that's being used for the disobedient house of Judah is Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. So oftentimes we cry out to Yah, oh Yah, destroy my enemies, save me from this. It's like, dude, you made this bed, now you're going to lie in it. You didn't listen when Yah told you what not to do. You didn't have the time of day for him at that point. But now that you're reaping what you've sown, now that your BS is coming home to roost, oh, please, God, save me. Well, that tool of destruction that he's going to use to get your attention is of him. We forget that the darkness belongs to Yah. That the bad stuff is his too. What we perceive to be bad is his too. Rather than trusting in Yah to see us through the bad stuff, we cry out, please, Father, save me from this whatever. Well, you wouldn't be going through whatever in the first place if it wasn't Yah's will. And many times it's our disobedience that brings that punishment on us in the first place. And it shall be the nation and reign that does not serve Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babel, and the one that does not put its neck under the yoke of the king of Babel, that nation I shall punish, declares Yahweh, with the sword and with scarcity of food and pestilence until I have consumed them by his hand. Very reminiscent of Matthew 24, the beginning of the birth pains. So do not listen to your prophets, or to your diviners, or to your dreamers, or to your observers of clouds, or your sorcerers who speak to you, saying, Do not serve the king of Babel, for they are prophesying falsehood to you, to remove you far from your land. And I shall drive you out, and you shall perish. But the nations that bring their necks under the yoke of the king of Babel, and serve him, I shall leave in their own land, declares Yahweh, and they shall till it and dwell in it. And I, Jeremiah, spoke to Sidikyahu, the king of Judah, according to all these words, saying, Bring your necks under the yoke of the king of Babel, and serve him and his people, and live. Why should you die, you and your people, by the sword, by the scarcity of food, and by pestilence, as Yahweh has spoken against the nation that does not serve the king of Babel? Do not listen to the words of the prophets who speak to you, saying, Do not serve the king of Babel, for they prophesied falsehood to you. For I have not sent them, declares Yahweh. Yet they prophesy falsehood in my name, in order that I drive you out. Then you shall perish, you and the prophets who prophesy to you. Then I spoke to the priests and to all this people, saying, Thus said Yahweh, Do not listen to the words of your prophets, who are prophesying to you, saying, See, the vessels of the house of Yahweh are brought back from Babel soon now, for they prophesy falsehood to you. Do not listen to them. Serve the king of Babel and live. Why should this city become a ruin? But if they are prophets, and if the word of Yahweh is with them, let them now make intercession to Yahweh of hosts, that the vessels which are left in the house of Yahweh, and in the house of the king of Judah, and at Jerusalem, shall not go to Babel. For thus said Yahweh of hosts, Yahweh Sabaoth, concerning the columns and concerning the sea. This is the stuff that was made for the temple by Solomon. Well, at the direction of Solomon, by Hiram Abiff, an entirely different teaching. For thus said Yahweh of hosts concerning the columns, the Joaquin and the Boaz, and the sea, the great bronze sea, and concerning the stands, and concerning the remainder of the vessels which are left in the city, which Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babel did not take, when he exiled Jeconiah the son of Jehoiakim, the king of Judah, from Jerusalem to Babel, and all the nobles of Judah and Jerusalem. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, concerning the vessels that remain in the house of Yahweh, and in the house of the king of Judah and Jerusalem. They shall be brought to Babel, and be there until the day that I visit them, declares Yahweh. Then I shall bring them back and restore them to this place. Do what Yah said, or suffer the consequences. And even in the suffering of the consequences, he will see you through that if you're obedient to him. Y'all have a blessed day. Shalom.